Greetings, family. This is Cassandra Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates, and I am alive. Back at you again. I'm the founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, and I'm tired. Uh, Yesterday was a good day. This last week was a good week, but it has tired me in its goodness. You feel me? This full moon handed me my entire ass. I was invited yesterday to go do a little full moon hike with some women, and so I'm thinking it's gonna be a cute little hike, so we can, hike under the moon together. I did not know I was about to have my ass handed to me. That hike about smooth took me out. Okay? I've been sleeping most of the day. I was so exhausted when I got back. So tired. And I was so tired. I'm still tired. You understand? And we still in the height of this full moon energy that has occurred in the midst of 7 planets in retrograde. So when I say that my ass is kicked, that's why I look like I look. You feel me? I wasn't trying to get cute for this live. I was trying to keep a commitment. I said, I committed that I was going to come on this joint for 1 hour every day from Monday to Friday. So this is me keeping a commitment because I am tired. I literally just rolled off the couch. Okay? I'm tired. I'm the kind of tired, you know how sometimes you get so tired, you feel like you've been poisoned. I feel like I've been poisoned. I'm so tired. And I'm not tired in a bad way. I am in a well-deserved state of tired. I made miracles happen this week. I pulled a jack move or 10 out this beach this week. So it's a well-deserved tired. It's a well-needed tired. Thanks, Knowledge Born. I see you. It's a well-deserved tired, baby. I had a patient today. She's like, girl, you look woe out. Don't mean I can't make magic happen, boo. Come on, let's get to it. You feel me? And then she came, and I usually only do 1 hour treatments. But baby spirit took over, and I gave that old lady the business. You feel me? 2 hours of magic working I did on this woman. She was like, I feel amazing. That was the best treatment I done got so far. Cause I work magic. I pull off miracles. You understand? I approach medicine like I do everything else with the whole ass intention of pulling jack moves. You feel me? Anyway. And then as soon as I was done with her, I was back on the couch sleep. You understand? Anyway, it's been a really great week. I just want to tell y'all something before I start doing what I'm going to do. I've been watching so many videos this week and trying to understand my approach to ritual this week for the full moon. It was a super blue moon in Pisces that occurred in the sign of Virgo. You dig? And so I'm trying to figure out what my angle gonna be, what my most gangster jack move is gonna be, ritually, spiritually, to make the most out of this moon. And when we have big, powerful, energetic occurrences, I just find it interesting because I refer to astrologers, people who do that for a living. I told y'all 10 million times I'm not an astrologer. It is something that in the future, when I am situated economically enough that I can spend the time to do that, it is something that I intend to learn. It is something that I intend to find a mentor to learn, right? But in the meantime, I'm not an astrologer, so I defer to the professionals. So I will, in preparing for an astrological event, there are several astrologers that I really like. I really like the approach to astrology, and 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 I like, you know, I like each one has something peculiar about their approach that I like, right? So Tanya Gabrielle, for example, calls herself an astronumerologist. She always in her assessments bridges the gap between these sister sciences of numerology and astrology. I love her approach. I love the fact that she never has bad news where the planets are concerned. She's like, you can make of the planets what you make of the planets. These are the angles. This is the approach. This is what it means numerologically, where they're positioned, at what degrees they're positioned. What does the numbers mean? What does that say? I like her approach. She is the eternal optimist, and I need that sometimes. Rosalima, Rasalila. Rasa, Rasalila. Rasalila. He is a pragmatist. He is optimistic, but he is very pragmatic in his approach to astrology. And I dig that. I need that. Because it can't be all flowers, stars, rainbows, and sunshine all the time. Sometimes the astrology, you got to have a little rain. And I like his approach. And then there is Pam Gregory, a cute elder British woman who talks more about the giant, like universal cosmological implications on us for what is happening in our heavens right now, right? I like her approach. She's cute, she's British, and she is she is an optimist in a different kind. Always deals with like these practical implications in our lives for these astrological occurrences. How can you move about the cabin this week? What should you be doing in your life this week? What kind of potential mind chatter should you be wary of this week? I like her approach. Pam is like, bitch, we trying to create the future. We always creating the future in the real time. This is what this occurrence this week means in the grand, giant, massive, beautiful scheme of things. I dig all their approaches. Those three in particular, I watch them religiously. This week, however, I've noticed that most people, they're not the only three astrologers that I mess with, but they are the big ones. But, it's easy to get caught up because astrologers, it's like the angle is always doom and gloom. Like, would this mean this? And, Virgos, you got to be real careful. And I was like, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. Like, I don't want to hear none of that. I subscribed to that for a long time. So now what I want to hear is how I'm going to pull this jack move with the energies and the players that are on the scene. And that's what I did this week. All week, that's what I did. You understand? I left the house. You remember Lenny Kravitz's song, Are You Gonna Go My Way? And I got to know, yeah. That's my jam, right? Maybe that was my mantra this week. My mantra this week was, things are gonna go my way. And I always know, baby. Things are gonna go my way. Every time I walk into any place, things are gonna go my way. Things are gonna go my way. Things are gonna go my way. Things always go my way. Things always go my way. That's been my mantra all week, baby. I've been every time I say it, I hear Lenny Kravitz's beautiful self in my head saying, things always go my way. Things are gonna go my way. Because they always do. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I've been on this week. And every single thing that I approached out this mug this week, this last, as a matter of fact, from a week ago today, everything that I have approached has gone exactly as I have called it to do. You dig? And that's the energy we got to get out here and approach this shit with. There's too many of us approaching even the magic we say we want to produce with like skepticism or hesitance or, you know, kind of worry-ish. Is it gonna work? You know what I'm saying? I have to reject all of that. I'm about to be 48 years old at this bitch in 2 weeks. You feel me? 2 weeks. I'm gonna be 48. You see, I ain't colored my grays in a whole hot second. You feel me? I get real up close and personal with y'all right now. You see that? Look at these temples. You understand? And I do not look at them with revile. I recognize this wisdom shooting out of these temples. You feel me? This life experience shooting out the crown of my dome. You dig? This is lived experience shooting out my dome. Now, I can cover them up because I can do that, and I'm gonna. I'm just saying, it's not revile. I understand a lot. My life has been so interesting. It's been so interesting, y'all. It's been one of those lives that sometimes has me, because I recognize what the talk is. I recognize what happens, especially with families, but with friends, and, you know, even with extended community. My life has not been stereotypically exemplary of what we would define as successful, if you will, right? Like 10 years of medical school, 20 years of helping people and doing activist work, raising a child, contributing to the raising of extended family children, you feel me, stepchildren and godchildren and a foster child, grandchildren that I have, right? And because the noise of, and I am guilty for falling victim to this, so I want you to hear me. You know, the benchmarks of success that are required for human beings, particularly in America, to have, quote, arrived, to be indicative of a life well lived. There ain't too many of them benchmarks I'd have met. You understand? And sometimes I be in my feelings about it because, again, in 2 weeks, you guys, I am going to be 48 years old. Excuse me. Well, whoa! Child, let me tell you about cat-like reflexes. I almost had a situation. I'm going to be 48. And so when you start approaching a half a century of life lived, and you start to look back over, you start to wonder, especially if you do not have in your immediate surroundings those societal benchmarks laid out for you as a young person that you must meet in order to be a valuable human being. Those benchmarks are drilled into our consciousness very, 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 very young. And it can be easy as a young adult, as a middle-aged adult, as an elder, it can be easy to be, and me being a Virgo, I'm more guilty of it than anybody else. It is easy to be self-critical. It is easy to be extremely hard on yourself when you start to slowly knocking on half a century and you look around and you survey your terrain. It's hard to beat back the voice in your head that says that tries to elicit a sense of urgency, that tries to elicit in you a sense of panic, that tries to elicit in you a sense of uh hurry. Hurry. You understand? And that is not to say that there aren't moments in my life that when I recall them, I can look back and say, you know what? I wish I would have done that differently. I wish I would have approached that differently. And be able to do that without being self-critical or self-judgmental or hard on yourself, but to recognize where you made error and say, yeah, I can see how I have arrived at the place that I have. I can recognize in an instant where if I had made a decision differently at that moment, I may be at this place that makes others in my life happy with where I am. I know, baby, look, let me tell you something. I do not, and it is not a criticism or a condemnation of anybody, my friends, my family, my mama, nobody. But I'm a psychic. I'm a healer. I'm an oracle. My name literally means she who sees the future. She who is an oracle. She who illuminates mankind. That's what my name means. So when I walk into a room, I already know what y'all think. Every last one of you. Don't matter what room, don't matter what space. I already feel your judgments. I already know who you are before you open your mouth. Please believe me when I say that. Even if I don't check you, even if I don't get an attitude about it, I can already see your thoughts on your face. Believe me. I want you to hear me. That's not just now. That's been. So even though I am a gentle spirit, and I give so much grace. Even though I am a gentle spirit, please believe me, ain't nail one of y'all ever got up over on me. I know your thoughts. I know your judgments. My mother's disappointment in my life is palpable. I recognize she is. And I get it because my mother worked so hard. So hard. Listen, you have not seen a human being work the way my mother has worked. She did, man. Just recalling my mama's life, man, she worked. It's, as a matter of fact, it's a goddamn fucking crime against humanity that in order to have a life that resembles anything of substance, that one human should have to work as hard as my mother worked. It's wrong. It's wrong. Is my opinion. And I had so young. I had such an attitude about how hard my mother had to work. 16 fucking hour days most of my childhood. And I'm not exaggerating when I say 16-hour days. It was not uncommon for me and my sister to see my mom 1 hour a day, the hour that she was awake between going from one job to the next and catching power naps just to stay halfway human. Most of her life, my mother worked that way. And she has a beautiful home, the home she raised us in. Her cars are paid for. She's in retirement. And that work, that fucking fight for existence, because we weren't balling out of control. My mother paid for that work life. My mother paid for it with her body, with her sanity. She sacrificed happiness to be able to meet these benchmarks imposed on us about what it is and what to is pissing me off. I'm sorry, I know I can figure out this street. To sacrifice happiness, to sacrifice to exist. And that's the only way to meet the benchmarks set by the society for us. And I remember I had an attitude about it. I wanted my mom. I understood why my mother worked the way that she did, but I wanted my mom. I remember my mother being denied a certain type of tenderness in her childhood. I remember my mother, she didn't. All my shit is showing that it's working. I do not know. Anyway, my mama, bless her. Bless her. You understand? And I listen, it's this big moon energy. It's 2 weeks from my birthday. So I just want y'all to rock with me. I am going to read a little bit, but I want y'all to rock with me. Because these are the analyses that we do when we're approaching, big years. And I remember being young. I had my first job at 14. I started working at Hardee's. And it was so I could, there were certain things that I could do for myself that my mama didn't have to do. Right. And I just remember working that job, and I liked having money because I knew what money meant. But I remember clearly a defining moment that I'll never be put in a situation where I have to work like my mother worked just to live. I will not accept it. As a matter of fact, I'll reject it. And I made my mama life hell after that decision, because I would quit a job in a hot second. I did not fucking care, bitch. Talk to me wrong. I'm out. I'll find something else. If I don't want to do it, if my body is rejecting it, I mop floors at Walmart. I think I was 18. And I worked at the overnight crew with the overnight crew. My mom was like, girl, this is a good job. They paying you good money. Yes, the graveyard shift, but you ain't got no responsibilities. You can sleep during the day. And that job was from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And the money was good for what that means at the time. 11 to 7, I was working at Walmart, stripping, mopping, and waxing floors. And child, it's a crime. It's a crime what people have to do to, quote, earn a right to live. And that's why my life looks like it looks. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't own a house. I am certain that the house of my dreams exists. I am certain that that is where I will go to sleep for the last time. I'm certain. So I'm okay. I'm patient with the arrival of my dream home into my life. I am. Right now, I live in an apartment I love. You hear me? I love my cute little apartment. It was a gift to me. I was certain. I knew that it was a gift. I knew it continues to be a gift. And I don't mean that figuratively. I mean it literally. Me and my baby looked for 8 months. We spent $600 or $700 on rental applications to be rejected, denied over and over and over again. To have motherfuckers asking how I keep my hair clean. Potential landlords. How do you keep your hair clean anyway? You understand? Like, obviously, gross, racist shit. Greetings, Oshalami. Gross, racist shit out here. You understand? Me deciding that I'm going to have to send my mixed race baby and her two little white looking babies to meet these landlords by herself, because every time I came on the scene, I could see their facial expression change. And then we would be denied. You understand? So when we got this place, it was a gift. We ran upon a sister who managed the apartment. The Russian that had been living in my apartment for 23 years. For 23 years, he had been living here. Had just moved out 2 weeks prior back to Russia for a family emergency. He'd been here 23 years. Me and my baby were sleeping in a hotel with the grandbabies. I told my daughter that week, I was like, baby, look, I'm not going to put us in a situation we can't get out of. So if after this week we cannot find a place, we'll listen. We'll swallow our pride. We'll pack up these automobiles, and we'll go back to my mama's house until we can figure out our life. I'm not going to have us out here homeless. You feel me? Me and my babies have been in a goddamn hotel for 3 weeks. You understand me? I told my daughter, a week. Give me a week, and I'll get us out of this. If I don't, the rest of the money that we have, we'll get our ass back on the road. We'll drive back to Alabama. 48 hours later, this black woman that was the manager of this apartment said, my homegirl told me you looking for a place. Come look at the place. If you like it, I'll give you the key tomorrow. She did not make us fill out an application. She did not do a background check. She did not do an economic check on either of us to get into this place. You hear me? The man had been out the apartment 2 weeks. The place just became empty. Nobody leaves these apartments because they're rent controlled. Everybody in here, the person that's been in here the least amount of time has been here 6 years. The person that's been in here the most amount of time is an elder sister. She's been here 25 years and then raised her son here. And when her son became an adult, he and his wife took the apartment downstairs. They've been here 15 years. When I say it was a gift, I'm always clear when spirit is intervening in my life. Honey, I got terrible credit. You feel me? Spirit was like, bitch, you need a place to live and you need a quality place to live. I live in West Hollywood. I live 5 blocks from the Chinese Theater. In a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, apartment, rent controlled, with a balcony. You understand? Quiet, neighbors, lovely, some, most. You understand? I'm always, and I have been, most of my adult life, especially since I became a spiritual woman, crystal clear at the moment that spirit is gifting me, because she has frequently. Unfortunately, in the past when spirit has blessed me, I was not spiritual. So I didn't know how to recognize a blessing and be fully embodied in my gratitude for it. Because this ain't the first time spirit done blessed me big. My first apartment, downtown Birmingham, beautiful 2-bedroom apartment, 2 balconies, 6 by 3 foot window. I'm ranting, I know it sounds like, but this is me going over my life as I'm approaching 48. You feel me? I've had a blessed and fortunate life, man. Spirit has stayed blessing me. Like, spirit has stayed getting me out of shit I shouldn't have got the fuck out of. You feel me? Because I done walked away from some shit I ain't have no business walking away from. I done been in situations that baby should have had me incarcerated for a lot of years. A lot of years. And Spirit was like, not today. Not today, baby. You got shit to do. I'm telling you, a lot of years. I was reckless. I was reckless in my opposition to the state. I was reckless in my opposition to the man. I was reckless in my opposition to the system. Baby, I did some reckless dumbass shit. And Spirit was like, cover this dumbass girl so she can do what we asked her to do. You understand? So at the same time, Spirit was keeping me out of. I was just in a car accident right before I came to California. That's how I got to California. The payoff from the car accident. I should not have walked away from this car accident. I'm telling you, I knew I was going to die. That eerie calm that people talk about right before they die, where they just surrender to it, I experienced that. I should not have walked. I was driving from Florida to Alabama in a thunderstorm, going the speed limit. I don't drive much over speed limit, 5 miles at best. I was going 70 miles an hour. I always get on to my kids about it. I never drive in the passing lane. The passing lane ain't for driving in, laying up in. You drive on the right side, and you only drive on the left side when you're passing traffic. But for whatever reason on this day, and I'm neurotic about it. My daughter used to get mad as hell with me about checking her about being in the passing lane. I was like, most accidents, according to AAA, most accidents happen in the passing lane because motherfuckers just lay up in the passing lane. Like the lanes in the highway is a la carte or something. The lanes in the highway ain't a la carte. You understand? So I, for whatever reason, am driving because it's late. It's like midnight. I'm on the freeway by myself. I'm listening to my ride out music. Yeah. And I'm in the passing lane for whatever reason. I heard a voice say, pull over and get gas when I saw this gas station because I was on this back road on the freeway in Florida. And I knew it was going to be a while before I was able to get gas. I was like, no, I can wait till the next exit. But I heard that voice say, stop and get gas. And I didn't. And so as I am passing that exit to go get gas, and I'm going over the overpass, there, I could not stop it because I didn't see it until I was right up on it. A woman's car had stalled in the middle of the freeway, apparently had hydroplaned, hit the guardrail, and then ricocheted back out into the road in a T. So I'm coming this way, and her car is literally in a square T, just like this, at the very bottom of the overpass. Her ass is still in the car because when her car hit the guardrail, it jammed the door, so she couldn't get out. I hit this woman going 70 miles an hour in the fucking rain. In the rain. And when I hit her car, and she went one direction, and my car was spinning full circle in this water down this hill, I let go of the wheel. I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. I was just waiting for the car to start tumbling over. It's like, there's no way I'm going to make it. I literally let go of the wheel. I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. I was so calm. It was so clear. It was like everything was happening in slow motion. I was so calm. I knew I was about to die, and I was like, oh, well, I guess this is it. This is how I'm going. My car hit, after it stopped spinning, it hit the guardrail just like her car did, face on, shattered the windshield, just like you see in the movie, shattered the windshield, and then ricocheted out into the middle of the 3 lanes in a T, just like her car did. So once the car finally stopped and I realized I was alive, I was like, okay, I got to get out of this car and run. So I ain't in the car when somebody else cleared this damn hill. By a miracle, because the freaking steering wheel was on my chest, the windshield had shattered in my face. By a miracle, the door wasn't jammed. I opened the door. I drive barefoot. I'm from the country. I drive barefoot. I get out the car in the rain and the glass, and I take off running as hard as I can. I'm trying to get as far away from the car as I can because there's no way anybody, and my car was a dark color car. There's no way anybody's going to see that car, and this is about to be madness. It ended up being 7, 8 cars in that accident. I'm sitting on the guardrail far from my car. All of a sudden, in fucking slow motion, I see car after car come down. hydroplane trying to break from the two cars stuck in the middle of the road. Car after car hits our car. Boom, boom, boom. A freaking giant van, like an old school van, hits my car. Boom. And my car is hit so hard by this car that it starts coming for me while I'm sitting down the way on the guardrail. That my car hit where I was sitting on the guardrail. I had to run further down away from all the madness. A freaking diesel truck clears the top of the overpass and starts to what do they call it? I forget what they call it. Starts to I forget what they call it when a truck, when the back starts flying kind of away the opposite position of the cabin, right? But his shit starts, and I'm like, oh my God, this diesel is about to flip all the way the fuck over. Jackknife. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, my name. Yes. The truck was about to jackknife. And so I'm sitting here watching this shit happen in slow motion. There are cars on both sides of this diesel truck. He's driving down the middle lane, and you can see this, and then you see that the tail, the main part of the truck just coming over on a set of the side wheels. I was like, it's over. By this time, we had already been hit multiple times, and by a freaking miracle, that truck fell back flat on its knees and was able to slowly pull off the side of the road. There were people running all over the freeway, trying to help each other, trying to get each other out of cars because they see cars are still coming down. I know there had to be easily 8 cars and trucks in that accident. And me and that woman were the first. I hit that woman going 70 miles an hour. I'm sitting in the pouring rain after everything is calmed down and the paramedics and everybody come. I'm sitting on that guardrail, and the woman who I hit, apparently when I hit her, it jarred the door open, so she was able to get out of the car. She gets out of the car with an umbrella, walks down towards me, and asks me, "Are you okay? Do you need an umbrella?" I was like, "No, I think I'm fine." That woman who I hit, who walked down to where I was, child, let me tell you about adrenaline. We ended up in the ambulance together. And I was amazed that she was walking down to help me, and I hit her, right? Baby, when the state trooper came to ask me what was going on, what my version of the story of what happened was, whatever. I asked about the woman. I said, how is the woman that I hit? He was like, she's in surgery right now. I was like, oh my God, really? He was like, yeah. I said, what is wrong with her? What kind of injuries did she sustain? He was like, I don't know how she walked to you. I don't know how she got to where you was. I was like, what you mean? Multiple breaks in both her legs and 3 breaks in her fucking back. This woman had 6 surgeries from the time that I was in the accident with her to the time her insurance company paid me out. 6 surgeries. Y'all ain't heard. I should not have walked away. Baby, I did not. That glass shattered all over me. I didn't have a single cut. I did sustain some injuries, some tears, like some tears in my shoulder, some tears in my knee, and some tears in my ankle. Any surgery? Nope. No surgery. I should not have. I should have died in that accident. I will say that I could have died in that accident. Spirit was like, no, not today. Not today. Bitch, you still got shit to do. You still got an assignment. Not today. My mom, Shalami, if you still listening, that accident happened in Gainesville where Baba's land was. So I called him. And this was after Yeye passed away. But I called him. I was like, can I crash? Can y'all come and get me from the hospital? and I crash at y'all house until my mama can come and get me. My mom was gonna come and get me the next morning. So I called my mama. I'm like, yo, mom, I was in a terrible accident. I'm in the hospital now, but they say I can leave. Can you come get me in the morning? She was like, okay. Let me tell you, this is still going back to my initial thing, y'all. I promise. Y'all know I go in these big circular stories, but I always come back to the point. So I'm talking on the phone with my mom, telling her how bad the accident was or whatever. I can hear she's angry because it's her car that I've just wrecked, right? So that was the default. She was upset that I wrecked this car, right? The next morning, the very next morning, now they sent me away with like a little guard on my ankle because that was what was most, my ankle and my knee, because that was what I was most obviously complaining about. Gave me some pain medication. So I went over to Baba's house and I slept on the couch until my mama came to get me the next morning. Okay, no scratches, no bandages, baby, none, no cuts, nowhere. So the next morning, my mama come to get me. She pulls into the yard and she sees me walk out of the house with one crutch. Like I just got a crutch to stabilize this leg. And I could see her face. She was like, that accident ain't as bad as she said it was. I could see her face. I'm telling y'all, I know. I could see it. And the evidence that it was what I saw when I saw her face was, I was like, look, I still have to go back to the car, the yard where they took all of our cars. I still got to go get my stuff. There's stuff I can't not get out of the car. I was like, I got to go get my stuff out of the car before we go home. So we went over there to get my stuff, and we pulled up into the yard where all the cars from the scene had been brought. And she sees her car, and she starts crying. She was like, oh my God. Oh my mama don't curse. She was like, oh my fucking God. My stepdad was like, oh, I don't believe it. They both look back at me. Same expression on their face, like, bitch, how the fuck did you walk out of this car? The car was hit on every side. Every side. They had to take what you call them, the jaws of death, to pry the trunk open just so I can get my shit out the trunk. The car had been hit from full on from the back, from both sides, and then I hit the front of the car, hitting the guardrail with the glass shattered on me. My mama didn't even believe it was that bad because I looked all right, like I had just tripped or some shit. And then she saw that car. She was like, oh my God, how the fuck did you walk away from that? How the hell did you get out of that car? You understand? And so I have had a fortunate life. I have had such an extraordinary life. And so sometimes I do. Sometimes I get caught. I get caught. I catch myself kind of lamenting, kind of feeling guilty. Like, damn, I should have more. Damn, if I'd have just went ahead and worked like regular people work, I would have more to show for my life. Like if I was to die up in this bitch, you feel me? People could come into my place and say, yeah, she lived a full life. She got a house, you feel me? She got a car, you feel me? She had a wonderful career, you feel me? Like she's met all the benchmarks that tells us that her life had value. I don't have any of those benchmarks. I have a car that's paid for. I have an apartment that I love. I'm so grateful for. I'm grateful for this apartment because I know it was a gift. It was evidence of my ancestors, of spirits, of the goddess's impact in my life all the time. Because we were demoralized, man. I was like, we about to have to go back to Alabama. We ain't gonna. But at the same time, I was certain. I was like, Spirit ain't have me come out here for no reason. This shit gonna work. In 48 hours, we were in a place. No fee, no application, no. The sister was like, come on up in here. Come on up in here. This was meant for you. Because the dude ain't been gone 2 weeks. You understand? I've been here 2.5 years now. I love this apartment. Because every day, I'm not exaggerating, every day I am reminded that this place was a gift. You understand? And I prayed for that gift. I did. I prayed for that gift. I can tell y'all something about, well, I'll tell you. The apartment wasn't a figurative gift, how we got in here. I hadn't paid rent in 2 years. Here. I'm sharing way too much with y'all, but I haven't paid rent in 2 years. Here. And this place that I got in West Hollywood. It's almost $3,000 a month. I haven't paid rent in 2 years. This is going to be my first month paying rent here. Because I prayed for that. I said, Spirit, look, you got shit you need me to do. I'm going to need to not pay rent. I'm not lying. That's how I pray. I was like, I am gleefully ready to do what is being asked of me. This jack move you want me to pull, this really radical shit you got me out here trying to pull off. Because I tell y'all, the temple ain't no shit that just popped up in my consciousness yesterday. I've been plotting on this shit for a long time. But I'm like, I'm going to need my space freed up. I'm going to need my head freed up. I'm going to need my heart freed up. I was in the desert on a reservation in Arizona, sleeping in a native family's backyard, driving across the country. And I told Spirit out loud, I said, look, this is an extraordinary life. It is. This is an extraordinary life. The gifts that I have, they my gifts. And I am so struck and in awe of them all the time. It's like being a little kid and getting the most wonderful toy you could ever imagine. That's what my gifts feel like. I'm like, damn, this is radical. This is awesome, right? My ability to communicate, my ability to attract people into my life. This native woman whose house I was staying in pitched my tent in her backyard for 2 weeks. I met this woman online. We never met face to face. She was like, you are someone I really think can appreciate what I want to show you. Do you want to come stay in our backyard? You on this epic journey across the country? Come stay on the res. There's something I want to show you. Who shit like that happened to? You understand what I'm saying? And she showed me something that I haven't seen anything even approach the magnitude of it since. Not yet. Not yet. You feel me? I've had such an extraordinary life. So blessed. And I was in that woman's backyard in that tent for 2 weeks. And I remember one night, I said, this is an amazing life, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm grateful for every experience. I'm grateful for every story I get to tell. That is evidence of magic. That is evidence that you are real. That is evidence that all we have to do is plug in. That's it. That everything that we want is waiting for us. All we have to do is tap in. Right? But I'm gonna need to not work for 2 years. I was specific. I shouldn't have been specific. I said I don't need to work for 2 years. Now, there's shit you want me to do. There's things that I need to make happen. There's people that I need to meet. There's work I need to do. I need to not pay rent for 2 years. Now, I don't know what that look like. Does that mean I got a sponsor? You feel me? Do I have a sugar daddy? I don't care. I'm open to the possibilities. But I'm going to need to not work for 2 years. I'm going to need to not, that's not what I said. I said, I'm going to need to not pay rent for 2 years. I said that crystal clear out loud in that tent in rain. I'm going to need to not pay rent for 2 years. And Spirit was very specific because almost 2 years ago to this day, I told y'all this is the first month I'm paying rent. Almost 2 years ago to the date. You understand? I made that prayer. I said, I don't need to work. I don't need to pay rent. You understand? I am convinced that my dream home will be built for me. I've been convinced of it since I was 12. My house ain't changed that much in my imagination since I was 12. Little tweaks here and there, but it ain't changed much since I was 12. You understand? So, and I can have that kind of audacity because I'm telling y'all, this shit is not like a rare occurrence. It has happened so many times. Big magic, even when I wasn't paying attention, even when I was not astute enough as an atheist to be grateful for massively huge blessings that I received. Massive. Somebody say, I hope the book is coming soon. Child, you and about 1,000 other people. I swear every other day somebody talking about you need to write a book, you need to write a book. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I need to write several books, but that's a discussion for another day. Anyway, all of this to say that I do not regret my life. I don't. I'm 48 years old in 2 weeks. There is not anything in my life I regret. Not anything. Not any decision that I made to be in any fucked up relationship. I have zero regrets. I really do. Zero regrets. There are things that I can look back on and say, "Yep, if I'd have gone left instead of right, X, Y, and Z would have occurred." But I don't look at those things in like lament or woe or anything like that. I look at them, I recognize them for what they are, and baby, I keep it pushing. I keep it pushing. And yeah, so that's all I want to say about that. I didn't even have any intention of doing an intro or anything like that, especially an intro that ended up taking 50 minutes. But I will say one more thing, since apparently this is not going to be a read for today. This is going to be me talking to y'all and getting y'all caught up on life and everything. You understand? I was, for whatever reason, I don't even know how or why it happened. Maybe on my memories or something. Something came up. Oh, that's what it was. A memory came up about America's Got Talent, and it was like a video of kids who had gotten. It was like a video montage of all the kids who had gotten the golden buzzer on America's Got Talent. I love babies. I love kids. I love teenagers. You know, I do. I love young people so much. They just still, to me, represent like all the butt naked, raw, beautiful, enthusiastic potential, you know. And so I'm watching these videos, and every single video, I'm just crying crocodile. It was so cute. Oh my god, they're so sweet. Yeah. I was a whole blubbering, hysterical mess in here, and I guess I was like, okay, well, I guess I needed to cry because I haven't cried in a very long time, in about a year. As a matter of fact, it was a year ago this week when my grandchildren left me. So I've been pretty raw and pretty tender this week. You feel me? And so I've been here crying crocodile tears, looking at all these babies, all these young people, all this beautiful raw talent, all the ways that the mother shows up in us, right? And I've been talking to a couple of people in the temple about, you know, like what our approach should be. Because I've been on one for a few weeks. Like, man, I've been on one. I had some experiences, and it's easy for me to get triggered sometimes. I was like, I don't like grown-ups right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how are we going to build a temple out of a bunch of grown-ups? I was like, I need to be the Pied Piper out this beach. Like, we don't even want to mess with grown-ups. I just want to have all the kids and all the raw potential that the kids have, and all the smiles and all the giggles and all the awesomeness that children represent. That's all I want to be surrounded by. I do not want to have to deal with the complexities of the conditioning of grown-ups. You feel me? I do not have to want to wage war against people who think they know everything and just got hip to the game yesterday. You understand? I'm not trying to mentor hard heads. You feel me? I was in my emotions about grown-ups for a minute. You feel me? This sister that I do work with, she's younger than I am. She's considerably younger than I am. And we were talking the other day, and she was like, well, you know, Iapo, you are an elder. I was like, the fuck? I am not an elder. I'm an older. Okay? I ain't an elder yet. When you become an elder? And I said, you know what? You might be right, girl. She said, why? I went to the Hollywood swimming pool. I went to the Hollywood swimming pool to find out how much it was going to cost to take my homeboy's daughter a couple times a week to the swimming pool. And she was like, well, for her, it's going to be $1. But since you're a senior citizen, I said, what? I said, what? makes you think I'm a senior citizen? She was like, well, I was just looking at your temples. I didn't mean to offend you. I said, well, how much is the senior citizen discount? She said it's 50 cents for a senior citizen to swim, and it's $1 for a child to swim. I said, what's the age of the senior citizen discount? She said 50. Since when you become a senior citizen at 50? Like, when that happened? When they decide that? And then she just assumed I was a senior citizen, y'all. I said, oh my God. Oh, shit. Not when I'm 24 in my head. I'm still 24. I don't deny my age. I'm proud of my age. Like, I earned them years. You feel me? But my mind says, bitch, you still 24. Don't let that shit fade you. You feel me? Anyway. So, yeah, that's been it. It's been a powerful week. No, you are not crazy. No, your life is not falling apart. There are 7, count them, 7 planets in retrograde right now. These planets are the galactic brake, like brakes on your car, calling on you to come to a full halt and analyze your life analyze it with discernment, not judgment, with gentility. I see you, Letitia. 24 is the optimal age, baby. It's the optimal age. It's when our frontal lobe finally comes together, where we finally become reasonably, responsible human beings. We can make logical decisions. You understand? 24 is a good age. You got all the energy in the world. You still got one foot in your teenage years, so you still got the enthusiasm to get out there and try new things. It's a great age. You feel me? But anyway, 7 planets are in retrograde. Retrograde is not your enemy. Retrograde is your alarm clock. Slow down. See what is happening around you. How do you fit in the grand scheme of things? Are you moving with the flow or against the flow? Do you understand? I held ceremony on the top of that mountain last night. There were 70-something people piled up on top of that mountain, watching the moon come up over the horizon as the sun set behind us. You understand? And I'm singing because everybody looking at me, you know how people be looking, but I was like, look, I came up here to talk to the mother. Like, fuck what you heard. Y'all got your little professional cameras up here trying to get your little money shot. That's cool. I came out here to worship the mother on this day. So I'm singing my little songs, singing my little EFI songs, humming little ditties and shit. And we were up there I was up there for about an hour singing, worshiping the mother, took my ancestor staff up there. You understand? Made an offering to the earth before we hiked up that mountain. And about an hour after, singing and listening, playing music, this woman, there were a lot of tourists up there. This is LA. There was a lot of Asian tourists and all kinds of foreign languages all around me, right? This girl that had been sitting, relatively close to me, a European woman, she sounded Eastern European. She said, I heard you on the phone talk about the moon. Can you tell me about the moon? I was like, she was young. She was maybe 24, 25. I was like, well, what do you want to know about the moon? She was like, I want to know why you're up here for the moon. I said, okay. So I started talking to her about the moon, about what I'm telling you guys. About how this moon won't happen again until 2037. This moon that we're still in the ebbs of, you understand, won't occur again until the year 2037. This was a power-up opportunity, baby. Right? This was magical workings on steroids moon, baby. This was powerful intention setting and energy purging and baptism shit out this bitch this week. You understand? So I'm telling her, she didn't know anything about the moon. How much has been kept from us? Oh my God. She didn't know anything. She didn't know why the full moon is important in general, why the new moon is important in general. I'll tell you, it to me, it is a crime against humanity that any person born female, any person with a uterus, has been completely severed from their relationship, their intimate relationship to the moon and its phases. It's problematic. So I'm explaining this as best I can, nominally, to this young woman. I'm like, okay, so imagine that the new moon, is like the secrets that lie below the surface of the earth. There's everything is hidden. All the worms and the critters and the richness of the soil, everything is hidden. All we can see is the top, right? That's the new moon. That's the energy. That's the potential of the new moon. Is that any idea that comes to you becomes a seed of potential that can be given life to by that new moon. You understand? So, your idea, your secret heart's desire, your intention, you can take and plant in the new moon and nourish just like you would any seed that you plant in the earth, to water it, to give light to it, right? Lighting candles, to singing. They tell us now scientifically, sing to your plants, talk to your plants, they'll thrive, right? So I'm saying this is the potential of the new moon. And then the 2 weeks from the new moon to the full moon is that nourishing of that seed that you are doing, right? The caring for, the giving attention to, right? That you are doing for that seed of potential that you want for your life. And then the wonder and the beauty and the majesty of the light of the full moon is when that potential that you put into that earth, you didn't have to know how it was going to happen. You don't have to know the mechanics, the biomechanics of how a seed becomes a tree, or how a seed becomes fruit, or how a seed becomes, you don't have to know that to know A plus B equals C. I put the seed in the dirt and I put water on the dirt, and something is going to pop out of the ground. You didn't have to know the how. You didn't have to know the why for it to be so, for you to be certain of the outcome. Okay? And so, all of a sudden, after caring for and nurturing this seed of potential that you planted under the majesty of the dark moon, the moon, the full moon, represents that moment when that seed of potential breaks the earth's surface and it is illuminated by the light of the sun. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm telling her this. I'm going in. I microdosed last night. I ate a few mushrooms before I hiked up that ridiculously horrific mountain. Oh my God, I thought I was going to die on that mountain last night. It was so terrible. But anyway, I did microdose before going up there. So I'm giving her the word, giving her the business. She's like, oh my God, I didn't know any of this. I was like, it's okay. You know now, right? All of a sudden, I'm talking to her. We face to face. I'm talking to her. All of a sudden, I look around. There are 40 people gathered around me listening to me tell her the story about the moon. One woman with her 2 young boys, a Mexican woman with her 2 babies, little kids, toddlers. She was like, oh my God, this must be a sign. I said, what? She said, I didn't even know the moon was full tonight. Me and my kids just decided we wanted to get out of the house and go hiking. Another young girl, she was like, I knew I was supposed to be here. I really didn't want to hike this mountain, but something just kept saying, be here, be here. Yo. Woo. Listen, when I tell you, ceremony happened on that goddamn mountain last night, and I was complaining because when I got the invite from these 6 Mexican women to go on this full moon hike with them, I was like, yes, I'm tired of being in my apartment doing full moon ritual by myself, doing new moon ritual. I need a clique. Like, I've got you guys online and I love you all, but I miss my temple in Tampa. I miss my Elaine. I miss the fellowship that comes with singing and dancing and eating together in service for the same thing. in worship to the one. I miss that so much. I miss it. And I did not, whew, I was like, okay, so these sisters online, I didn't know none of these women, invited me on IG to go on this full moon hike with them. I was like, yes, I'm going on the hike. I need to be surrounded by women on this full moon. I cannot be in this apartment again calling myself doing no full moon ritual. So I put all my little trinkets out on the porch so everything can moon charge, you feel me? So everything can power up. But I'm like, I'm about to go hike this mountain. We got out there, we did opening prayer, we smudged each other, and just as we started praying, baby, it was like 6 owls right over our head. We could hear them talking back and forward to each other. Woo, 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 woo. I got chills just telling y'all this shit. And I'm telling you, it was like a whole crew of owls just communicating back and forth right overhead where we were. I was like, yes, thank you, mother. I accept it. I accepted. She was like, yes, you needed this. Get your ass out here with these women and hike up this mountain. The mountain about killed me. I'm not faint at heart. I'm a big girl, but I can do some things. I hike. You feel me? That shit about smooth took me out last night. I swear that shit about took me out last night. So anyway, we get up there and I'm thinking that's it. This is the blessing. This is the blessing. Is me being able to hike up this mountain with these women and us get to know each other and talk to each other and and fellowship with each other. And maybe I got up on that mountain because they went up to the observatory. I was done after that. We had hiked a mile straight up, and we still had a half mile to go to get to the observatory. I was like, no, I can't. There was a clearing where all these 70 people were. It was flat before you anchored up to the thing. And everybody had their cameras, and you could see the entire city. The sun setting on the back, you could look right over. Y'all look on my pictures on my Facebook page. You could see the moon rising up over the mountain. You could see the sun setting behind the other set of mountains. You could see the entire city, and before the sun fully set, you could see the ocean. It was incredible. So I was like, I'm gonna just park right here. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come down from the observatory. And this girl, after an hour of me sitting there singing songs, fala fala osuo, ae, fala fala osuo, ae, omode keifa. Right? I'm singing to Oshun, I'm singing to Yemaya, I'm singing to Oya. Took my shoes off so I could ground a little. And this young white girl, I guess, got up the courage to talk to me because people were kind of like walking by. I'm sitting on the ground. I'm the only one sitting down. She's like, I want to know what you're singing about, and I want to know about the moon. And baby, I look up, and I'm telling you, there were 40 people standing around me, listening to me tell this young woman about the moon and why she was there, why the moon called to her. Regardless, none of them knew why they were there. Yeah, they were there to see the full moon. That's not why they were there. The moon called to them. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. The water in their body that she controls called to them. Do you understand? Each one of them, whether they recognize it or not, had been called. Now, I don't want y'all to get that twisted. We were all there for the same reason. We were all there for the same reason. All 70 people standing there and the 100 people that were up at the observatory, we were all there for the same reason. Whether they recognized it or not, I was crystal clear. I tell you guys all the time, be wary of despair, because that's not what you're experiencing. This is heavy, heavy energy that occupies the space right now because we have been conditioned by noise. That same shit I opened up by talking to you about. These benchmarks, these fallacies imposed on us that are supposed to teach us when we become valuable, that are supposed to tell us when we have arrived at being good, at being human. That shit is all a monstrous lie. And so we become heavy in the chest, man. We become heavy hearted because that shit is burdensome. That shit is burdensome to think, oh my God, I'm this age and I don't have a good, quote, good job yet. Oh my God, I'm not making this amount of money yet. Oh my God, I don't have a house yet. Oh my God. Even we all do it. How we diminish the significance of others because they have not yet reached those benchmarks. We do it. I understand how we have arrived at this place because money has become the thing. Currency has become the thing that teaches us how to relate to one another because we don't want to be out here fucked up. So we become those people that be like, all right, look, you ain't got a car. You ain't even got a car. We can't mess with each other. I've done it. I've done it. You ain't got your own place. You still live with your mama. Doesn't mean I don't believe that we should not be ambitious. There are things that we need in life. I'm saying, can we get out of this place where they define who we are as valuable? Can it be that these things do not define what it means to be valuable as a human being? Just to be, just to have arrived here and have a destiny that is ours. And we may not be able to understand or see clearly what that destiny is. I guarantee you, the majority of the people up on that mountain last night didn't know what their personal destiny was. I guarantee it. But all it takes, and I'm telling y'all this all the time, those of us who say we know, those of us who say that we have been called and heeded the call, we have to make ourselves available all the time for the singular moment where we can intervene in a person's life so that they can become realized. They can recognize in themselves what their destiny is. I'm telling you, I know that this conversation that I had with this young woman from Eastern Europe, sound like from the Netherlands or something, like she was Dutch or something. That was my job last night. That's why. It wasn't just because I needed the fellowship of other human beings, that I had been longing for the fellowship with other human beings in like mind, in like will, in like space. It wasn't just that. That was met. That need was met last night because I prayed for that. But Spirit was like, I'm going to need you to teach. I'm going to need you to teach. Somebody is going to be changed by what comes out of your mouth. So be mindful of how you speak. Be mindful of how you care for others. I was singing. She interrupted me singing. I could have had an attitude about it. Like, what do you want? I could have. And that would have forever changed her too, you see. This is the work that we're involved in. Those of you who've been on my lives for 3 years, listening to me read books, you understand? Tuning in to workshops. You understand? What do you think that it is for? What do you think that it is for? I am so mindful, probably too mindful because I'm a goddamn Virgo with a Capricorn moon. I can be overly analytical. I can be. But that was a need because I am mindful. I am mindful that I have been for a long time mindful of what I was going to be called to do. Even I'm gonna tell y'all, even when I was a Christian, I knew. And it used to terrify me because Christianity is terrifying. What I was being called to do, I knew when I was a child. I had recurring dreams as a child about what I was being called to do. And I always thought that it would be within the realm of Christianity. And that was terrifying to me. And when I joined the Black Power movement, it became more apparent. Oh, this is what the dreams of my childhood meant. That that what I was called to do would be within the context of helping to facilitate and initiate a revolutionary struggle against the state. That I was called to fight power. You feel me? That's what these dreams in childhood was about. Right? After having left the Black Power movement and becoming a devotee of Ifa and a spiritual woman, being on that mountain last night, I've been out here struggling for a location since I don't have use of the art gallery anymore for temple services. I was like, well, I'm not gonna rush it. You understand? What is for the temple is coming, and so I'll make some calls, I'll put out some feelers, but what is for us in terms of being able to do in-person temple services, it'll come just as easily as the art gallery did. And then I got on that mountain last night, baby, having no intention of teaching. As a matter of fact, I was like, you know what? Sometimes you talk too much. This is me being self-critical. Sometimes you talk too much. Just be in the moment. Don't be trying to teach nobody nothing. Even though another side of me was like, they need to know. They need to know. Even the women I went with, several of them didn't know the significance of the full moon in general, but particularly this one. I was like, should I teach? This isn't my thing. I didn't organize it. You know what I'm saying? Me honoring the space, honoring the organizers, you dig? I was like, nope, just be quiet, hike the mountain, just stay fine. You feel me? Spirit was like, girl, not to fucking day. Open your mouth and teach. That's what you are here for. You got the blessing by being in this space. Now open your mouth and teach. Open your mouth and teach. This girl is crying. I'm just telling her a story about the moon. I'm telling her, what's the significance of Pisces? What's the significance of Virgo, the Virgin? Why should you care? What does it mean inside your body? Because we all are the personification of all the signs. Not one, all. We are the personification of all the signs in the one. Just like in the body of our mother. When these signs come around, when these events come around, they teach us something about what is showing up in self in that moment as who we are. Y'all clear? Ooh, Mon Amy says a prophecy fulfilled, a gathering of women on a mountain in the land of angels. I just got goosebumps. I'm just telling you, last night was so profound, so profound. And I didn't expect anything profound. I was just happy for the opportunity to walk up that mountain with some beautiful Mexican women and feel like I was in ceremony, not alone, for a change. It was really good. And I was so happy to be in a place where there were so many young people who were interested in what an old, black, heavy-set elder had to say on the top of a mountain about the mother moon. It was powerful. And I'm gonna tell you, it was ceremony because I slept all day today except for when that patient came. I was like, why am I so tired? Because energetically, that was a lot to have 40 plus people piled around me, taking what they needed in that moment from me. And we have to stop taking for granted what energetic exchange feels like in the bodies of those who have something to give. Okay? Shit. Oh, I want to take a moment and then I'm going to stop. I want to take a moment to shout out some people. I should have wrote their names down. To shout out some people who contributed to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence this week. It was really helpful, really right on time, and really well received. And I am certain that it will come back to you ninefold. That is my prayer. That is my command of the universe, is whoever contributes, that it come back to them ninefold. So Monami gave a generous donation this week. She has committed to make a monthly contribution to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I wanted to shout her out for that. Carlotta Groves, who is on the temple committee for the founding of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, she too gave a very generous donation to the temple this week. I wanted to shout her out. A new woman, I'm gonna have to tell y'all late. Ooh, wait, let me see if I can find it on here. I think she's from other country. Let me just check. I may not be able to find it quickly. But she reached out to me about the reading of the Great Cosmic Mother. She too, I don't know if y'all can still see me on. I might have to shout her out the next time. I might have to shout her. Sorry about that. I might have to shout her out tomorrow because it's in my Facebook Messenger. But there were also two other people whose names I didn't write down. I was thinking I'd be able to see it online. Who gave generous donations to the temple this week. One was from South Africa. Wow. And also there are people, Tanya Wise out in Birmingham, Alabama, a good friend of mine from back in the day. She bought one of the journals that I was showing you guys that I sell. Right, so this is one of the journals. This is another journal. I've got a bunch of them. So those I make. And so she bought one of the journals, and she bought one of the Jesus Was Trash 2 stickers. Let's see, I'll get a better one. So she bought one of the Jesus Was Trash 2 stickers. And she bought one of the journals. So I wanted to shout her out for her contribution to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And those contributions are not made in vain. And I will always shout out those that make contributions because we have a world to change, and that's what it's going to require. And a level of transparency to let you know that, this is what has to happen, and this is what it's going to. I'm in the process of developing a retreat for the temple. So it'll be our first big event at the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I'm working on the proposal for it now. I have a meeting with the man whose land we want to use in Desert Hot Springs. The land is extraordinary. Oh my God. Oh my God. As a matter of fact, Google Bubbling Wells Oasis. Bubbling Well Oasis in Desert Hot Springs, California. Bubbling Wells Oasis in Desert Hot Springs, California. That's who I'm in talks with about doing this retreat for the temple. And what I'm planning, I'll tell y'all, I'm a Virgo. I can be highly ambitious in my in what I want to make happen because I see all the details. So I can be highly ambitious in terms of what I want to see happen. I had a meeting with a couple of women to see if I was being overly ambitious. But I believe that the time is calling on us to be audacious. Baby, I'm always talking to y'all about this Pluto returns. We in it. And by November, will be exactly a year from its completion. And we ain't did shit to make this shit pop yet. Nothing radical, nothing big. And everything that I'm hearing, everything that I'm getting in my readings, everything, every time I throw the cards, there's one card that's like, so when you gonna make the shit pop? When you gonna do something big and audacious, giant and radical? Like all the shit you doing is cute, but you're being shy, you're being timid. Where is the jack move you pulling? Like now is the time for something. Now is the time for a jack move, bitch. So be audacious. That's what I keep hearing. Be audacious. What is the saying? Fortune rewards the bold. Fortune rewards the bold. Bitch, what you done did bold? That's what Spirit keep telling me. So I'm talking to my homegirl, passing the idea to her. She's like, I don't know. It sounds like a really good idea. Maybe you need a year to plan it. I was like, no, it's got to happen in December. I don't know. That's a little ambitious. I keep hearing fortune favors the bold, bitch. What is the jack move you are pulling? You need to pull a jack move this year. I keep hearing. So that's what I need from y'all. I get it. We all move with caution because of this thing that I've been talking to you about for an hour and a half. But this is the year that the mothers require, demand radical action, bold as jack moves, so that we can ensure a future of fortune. So when I say something audacious, when I say something radical in our plannings, because those things are going to be coming to light soon, don't let me revert back to my old cautious ways. Be like, let's see how we can make this shit happen. Let's see how we can pull this motherfucking shit off. Who we know, who can we corral into the clique? How can we pull this jack move off? Because our opposition is constantly pulling jack moves. I'm always telling y'all, we need a big ass goddamn stadium revival. We need one of these motherfucking football stadiums or Dodger stadiums or some shit. You understand? Where we have a revival for witches. All these Christians out here having revivals, talking about the end of the world and Jesus coming back. We need a revival for witches, warlocks, root workers, healers of all kinds, psychics, fortune tellers. We need that. That's what I want to build. I want to build something on par with the opposition, and we can do that. We can do that. We have to pull our resources. We have resources, but we be too timid about corralling our resources, about calling on our emissaries. Man, that's the kind of jack move I'm talking about. That's the kind of jack move I'm talking about. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing Christians trying to regrow their flocks and shit off the fear and the terror imposed on them by the state. We have to go out into the world with good news too. Bitch, we got good news too. Guess what our good news is? Is that you don't need Jesus to experience heaven. The good news is that the lake of fire is a myth used to exploit your essence. The good news is, just like the mama that gave birth to you, our collective mother wants nothing else but to see us in ecstatic, joyful, willful worship of her. The only thing that feeds her spirit and her soul is our happiness. That's the good news. That's the word that we got to be spreading out in the world. Yes, the end is near. The end is nigh. And we should welcome it with a party, with celebration, with parades in the motherfucking street, and into the age of oppression and aggression and exploitation and despair, sadness and grief as the defining thing in the world. Yes, the end is nigh, and we should welcome it. Shh, baby, this is the work that we have to do. Teaching babies, y'all. I'll tell you, I got so many big ambitious ideas. I promise. And I'm like, the resources exist for it to be. So I'm gonna need that to happen. Y'all are gonna laugh, but you know, I love Harry Potter. I had kids that grew up in the age of Harry Potter, so we went to see every movie. We bought every bootleg. We been waiting for the DVDs to come out. Like, we was Harry Potter fans, and I revisit Harry Potter a lot because there's a lot in it. You got to go back and watch Harry Potter. The secrets are always in these movies. That's why I'm always talking to y'all about them. But anyway, I was like, man, when I was in medical school, when I enrolled in medical school, the great majority of not only the teachers, but the students were white. And so there was literally like a little handful of melanated people in the program. There was a whole Haitian family, a mom, a dad, and two brothers that were all doing the program together, radical. There were a lot of South American people in the program. There were several Filipino people in the program. There was a Native American woman who has my name, and we have damn near the same birthday. Crazy. And we became homies. And then, you know, myself. Handful. We all knew each other because there was literally just a handful of us, colored people. And as we were going through this program, we're almost like 85% of our professors were white in a Chinese medicine school. I can count on one hand how many Asian professors I had in the entire program. That was 4 years. One hand. The majority of our professors were white. And we were always plotting in the school, like, yo, when we graduate, we're going to build a school. And we're going to build a school where it's nothing but people of color teaching. Now, anybody can come get the information, but it's only people of color teaching. The majority of the classes that are Chinese medicine classes are going to be taught by Asians. They're going to be taught by Chinese people. African holistic health will have teachers for that. Native American health, herbs, and rituals. Natives are going to teach that. People are going to be in their lane. If white people want to teach, they have to be able to teach. They have to be able to come to the table offering something that's peculiar to them. If they want to teach some, you know, Nordic, ancient Nordic herbs, rituals, and healing, cool, you can teach that. Stay in your lane. Contribute. You feel me? This is what we were plotting on. Like, we're going to build the most radical alternative medicine school in the history of schools. That was our plot. That was our plan. We was always scheming on it in school. Every time we was on lunch break, yeah, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? And of course, we graduate, we get our jobs, and everybody goes their separate ways. I want to build this, but I want to build a Hogwarts style school of magic and medicine, music, movement, meditation. Do you understand? And the grades would be from 0 to 70. You understand? Oh my God. I want all the things in the place. I want children's introduction into the world to be that they, from the time they are born, what daycare we got at this Hogwarts, freaking pre-K we got at this Hogwarts, kindergarten, all the way through masters in college. You feel me? And that what it's gonna do is young people, when they bring their babies in, we are going to create an environment for what the future looks like. Leave out the noise of what is in the now. This is what the world has to look like. You are responsible for producing it. We have to shield you as we teach you how to become the emissaries for the future that we want to create. We, right now, those of us talking, we're the architects for this future that we have to create. The emissaries are going to be our offspring, are going to be these new generation of young people born. What is it that we're giving them as the blueprints for how to create this thing that we say we want to create? Have we done that? Where are the institutions that mix together, that bridge the gaps, that close the spaces that have been imposed on magic and medicine, music and movement, meditation, mystery? Where does that exist? Where does that exist? You understand? And so that's what I want to create. That's what I want to create. I want to see young little kids, my grandbabies' ages, learning every plant, how to talk to plants, how to listen for plants to respond. I want them to know the stories that I did not have access to until I was in graduate school. I'm hearing stories about Shinong, the one who gave us the modern materia medica 6,000 years ago, that he was so intimate in his understanding of plants that plants could not discern him from self. And so plants would freely grow from his arms and his legs because they saw him as self. That's an incredible story. That's an amazing story. Babies should know that story. The magic that they possess should be harnessed so that they do not learn what the word no means as a way to demote their dreams, as a way to reduce the fact that they see what we cannot see. They hear what we cannot see, right? Fairies are real. They need to be able to know and nurture that relationship inside the school while they're talking to plants, while they're learning to levitate, while they're learning to communicate telepathically, while they're learning to see the future, while they're learning to divine, while they're learning how to deconstruct a world where people are separated by race and by gender and by culture as these horrible antagonisms. That those things, the differences can exist harmoniously. That those things can be and need be for the intense beauty that is possessed in all those things, that resides in all those things. To stop seeing the world as a bunch of like oppositional antagonisms as the basis for war and conflict and shit. We have to create those humans. We have to create those humans. You understand? So that's one of the dreams. But to kickstart that shit, we need a revival. We need a witches revival. We need a witches reunion or some shit. We need a stadium size motherfucking 3-day throwdown of all the witches from all the places, all the wisdoms from all the places, all the warlocks, no matter what angle they come from, with no judgment, no ridicule of who do it better than the other. Oh, this my tradition and it's better. None of that. How are we gonna set this shit the fuck off? That's what I want to know. And these are the ways that can happen. The church is running circles around us, and it's because it uses what we taught them, what they extracted from us. So can we just take our shit back? Can we just model better? And I'm saying, I want to see the Dodger Stadium full of witches. That's what I want to see. I want to see a basketball stadium full of the masters of the dark arts. Yes, I do. Because I ain't all love and light. Love and light is great. Love and light exists in the dark. It is because the dark exists. It is because the dark is she. You understand? So I welcome it all. Now, if you on some dumb shit, like there's some shit I ain't talking about. I'll be honest. There's some shit I ain't talking about. Because the world has to be made new. The world has to be made new. Some stuff ain't it. Some stuff is just some stuff that exists within the realm of dark arts is still patriarchy, masked as something the fuck else. So if it's patriarchal shit, we ain't with it. If it's patriarchal shit, we ain't with it. If it's patriarchal shit, we ain't with it. I'm just telling you. But if you about that life, if you are about resurrecting the sleeping mother, resurrecting from her deep sleep, the dragon, the great serpent, then we about it. We about it. So can we do that? Who are your resources? Who you know who got skills, marketing skills, organizational skills, all the skills, all the things, fundraising skills, right? Can we set this shit off? Now, the retreat that I'm planning for December is not that. But what I would like, I'm putting this out on air right now. This is the last thing I'm saying. What I would like to see happen. Yes, 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 yes. What I would like to see happen. Because I've been talking to you guys now for 3 years about America's first Pluto returns. What it means. The weight and the gravity of it. The fact that whatever happens in the United States of America will have a ricochet effect on the entire globe for the next 2,500 years. This is age-setting energy that we are in on right now. This is age-defining energy that we are in the midst of right now. You understand? I mean it with every fiber in my being. You understand? And so what I would like to see happen is November 19th of 2024. November 19th of 2024. That gives us more than a year. What I would like to see happen is this stadium-sized revival I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Anybody ever been to a revival? Most of you probably haven't if you didn't grow up in the South. But if you grew up in the South, your ass hasn't been to a revival. Food, worship for 12 hours a day for about a week. It's a revival. It is to revive the spirit. You understand? Mm-hmm. It's like a party for the church. Everybody look forward to revival. You understand? Even the kids did. We look forward to revival when we was kids. It was fun. Right? November. I said it on this day. What's today's date? 8/31/2023. I said it on this day. This is what we have to make happen. We have to make a revival happen on November 19th, the day that Oya permanently transitions in the sign of Aquarius, into the sign of Aquarius. You hear me? Do you hear me? The day that Oya permanently shifts into the sign of Aquarius, Shango, they the turn up people. You see my Oya earrings on that I made? Y'all see them? Y'all see her dancing, playing the drum with her skirt of 9 colors? Shango and Oya, y'all always talking about war gods, but they turn up. They also are the dancers. They love the party. They love nice things. You understand? Oya wants you to be wealthy as a business owner, as a market person, as a person that has a business. She wants you to be abundant. Why do you think these white people are calling themselves the plutocracy? The plutocracy, Pluto, Oya. The governess of wealth, those things unseen. Diamonds, gold, coltan, plutonium, la 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 la. That's her. That's her. She's the guardian of wealth. Shango is the turn-up man, Lord of the drum. So can we elicit that energy from them? The party, celebrate the victory to ensure the victory? That's the revival. Celebrate the victory to ensure the victory. Not after it, before. We know it's ours. You understand? That's what I want to see happen. Let's make that happen. November 19, 2024, we're going to have a revival out this beach. You understand? As a matter of fact, this week, I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say. This week, all these people are out in the desert for Burning Man, right? And they have the big old ritual Burning Man edifice that they set on fire and people throw their wishes and shit in there. Okay, cool. Whatever. Can we have something of that magnitude? They say 80,000 people descended on that makeshift city this week. 80,000 people did that. To what end? For what cause? To corral what energy to do what? For the future of humanity. What was the end goal? To have all of the people together to burn the man. To ensure what? What were the prayers? What were the spells cast? You understand? We have to set the goddamn terms. We have to set the terms. We have to set the terms. Because if any of y'all are like me, and I believe that all of you are, every time I pray for myself, I pray for the whole. Every time I pray for my family, I pray for every person on the planet who has children and want the same things for their babies. I want the world to be made whole. I want the world to be made well. I want every inhabitant on it to be made happy, whole, sane, safe, secure. That's what I want for myself. I want for the whole damn planet. If we don't go into ceremony with that intention, we missing the boat. We missing the boat. If we don't go into things like Burning Man with them kind of high value intentions, we missing the boat. We're missing the boat. If we're doing manifestation rituals, that don't include the desires and the needs of the whole, we're missing the boat. Okay? So let's see what we can do. November 19th, 2024. Can we set this shit off once and for all? Can we do that? Can we make an event that goes down in the history of histories as the pivotal point in the future, in future creation, in the architecture of future, where 2,500 years from now, our descendants can say, and there was this pivotal moment in history where all things seemed bleak, despair ruled the world, and in the chaos and the noise of that world, a light shone from inside the belly of the earth, and the mother, her quiet voice, fed the few to whom heeded the call, and this event emerged from that small light and from that quiet voice. And this event is the moment that led us to this day. Can we create that? Can we do that? Can we do that? Create the moment in time that our descendants look to us and say, they are responsible for the now with which we exist. They had the courage and the foresight and the radical outside the box thinking that gave rise to the moment that shifted the entire planetary consciousness in an instant. Can we do that? Can we do that? And I think that we can. I think that we can. So, with that being said, my name is Cassandra Floyd, also known as Daughter of the Fates, founder of the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I should reiterate that the mother, my mother, Jacqueline Jeanette Futch, cooked at the time of my birth. That when she bled on my crown and allowed me to bathe in her sacred primordial waters, and cried and screamed to ensure that I could exist, she named me Cassandra. And in that moment, I became Cassandra, whose name means she who sees the future, the oracle, she who illuminates mankind, she who illuminates mankind. We cannot create what we cannot envision in our mind's eye. This is my role. This is my purpose, is to create the image in our mind's eye of what the future ensures is certain if we heed the call. So I'm telling you, these are not just conversations because I ain't get no likes and I ain't get no follows. If you are here, it is for you. If you are hearing what is being said and receiving it, it is for you. This is the charge. This is the mission. This is why we are called. That's it. That's it. So thank you for joining me this evening. I will change the title of this evening's presentation because I didn't talk at all. But tomorrow I will, because there is something that I wanted to share with you from the great and wonderful works of Barbara G. Walker, the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets. The Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets by Barbara G. Walker. Okay? So tomorrow, this is what we will be talking about. I will be reading from that book, and we'll be discussing what I read to you from this book on tomorrow. I encourage you to go to my Etsy shop that is now back online, where I sell not only these fabulous Oya earrings that I have made, you feel me, but a whole plethora of other things that I've just reopened my shop after 2 years. I just got my first order today from Germany I'll tell you what was purchased. I got an order from Germany for one of my dog tags, the first of its kind I've ever sold ever. It is Queen Nanny of the Jamaican Maroons. I was like, okay, Germany coming through, getting the power from Nanny. Okay, so that was my first sale. I took it as a sign. So go on to my Etsy page, which is Daughter of the Fates. So just go on to Etsy and Google, search my store, Daughter of the Fates, and check out what you can get there. Everything is to support. When you support me, you support the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. Damn near half of everything that I make is spent on trying to get this thing off the ground in a better way. So I still have to get some flyers made. I'm speaking on September 9th at the Afrofuture Comic-Con in San Diego. So I want to get an outreach table for the temple for that. I need to get our logo digitized and blown up for that. I would like to have like stickers and shirts and shit. I would like to have the manifesto printed in a pamphlet. So that's why support the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. I'm still fighting like hell with this website thing. That's why support the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. Okay, so and you can do that by supporting my Etsy page or donating or calling me and say, look, I ain't got no money, but I got some skills. I accept it and still hope and pray and am certain that it will come back to you times 9. So contribute how you can, donate if you can, contribute your skills, or if you got contacts that you know I need I will gratefully accept that as well. Okay, so keep on the lookout. My birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks. I will reiterate, I love books. And right now, the books on the top of my list are any book. I think there's 3 other books that I don't have. Any book by Mama Zobe. I want all of her books. I want all of her books. So you can go on to my Amazon account where I will post it in a poster. I'll post it in the Facebook group. My wish list, my book wish list on my Amazon account. I want her books. Okay. So anyway, I love you all. I care for your hearts, even if we have not met. That I promise. I care for your heart, even if we have not met. I am interested in a future where we can do that. All of us can just do that. That our value as human beings is because we exist. Our right to be loved is because we exist. It is because the mother willed our existence to be. That is the grounds through which you need be loved. You need be cared for. Your heart be valued. Your presence on the earth mean something to the rest of us. This is the world that I want to create, that I want to be a participant in creating. So I care for you all. I care for your hearts. I wish all the good things for you. And until tomorrow, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in to the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence. And I will see you again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.